Let's talk about those really quiet, almost invisible moments in our day. I think you know the ones I mean. The tiny little gaps between what actually happens and, well, the much, much bigger story we tell ourselves about what happened. It's kind of like the anatomy of a misunderstanding, but in miniature.
And for me, this particular story, it all started right here, with a single, simple, seemingly insignificant moment. It was about a gesture, or, what I perceived as the lack of one. And honestly, that's all it took for my mind to just, to start doing what minds do.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It was a completely wonderfully normal moment. Just picture it. I'm walking down the street, I've got a coffee in my hand, the sun is out. It's just a simple, easy, everyday kind of morning. Nothing strange, nothing out of the ordinary at all. It was just one of those days, The kind where everything feels like it's clicking into place. The coffee tastes exactly right. The music in your headphones hits the perfect note. There's just this easy sense of calm. I was completely relaxed, just kind of enjoying the walk.
And then, a glitch. Yeah, that's the word. Not a disaster, not a big conflict, not even really an event. Just this tiny little blip. A bit of social static in what was an otherwise perfectly clear signal. It happened so fast you could almost miss it. Almost.
So here's exactly what happened. I saw a friend across the street. Simple enough, right? So I did the usual thing, a smile, a little wave, and for just a split second, they looked right in my direction, and then, just as quickly, they looked away and kept on walking. That's it. That was the entire event.
And immediately, this question just appears in my head, totally uninvited, of course. Did they just ignore me? It was just a flicker of a thought, really, but it was enough. It was the spark that was about to light a very, very unnecessary fire.
So the really interesting part is what happens next. Because in the space of maybe 10 seconds, my brain took that tiny little flicker of a question and it decided to produce, direct, and star in its own full-length feature film. And guess who the main character was?
And this is what I mean. I love seeing it side by side like this. On the left, you've got the simple, kind of boring truth. A person walked past me. End of story. But on the right, that's my brain's instant blockbuster. All of a sudden, it's not just a person walking past. No, I've been judged and found wanting. I'm mentally replaying every single conversation from the last week, trying to figure out what I did wrong. Our entire friendship is now hanging by a thread. It's all so dramatic, so personal, and it happens so incredibly fast.
And this really gets to the why of it all. Our minds are just natural-born storytellers. They can't stand an empty space, an unanswered question. And if there isn't a story ready to go, they will invent one on the spot. It doesn't even have to be a good story or a likely one. It just has to be a story. Anything to fill that uncomfortable void of not knowing.
But then, just as I was spiraling deep into the second act of my own internal drama, a notification. A little buzz from my phone that was about to bring my entire film production to a screeching halt.
And there it was. The simple, totally undramatic truth. A text message. So sorry if I looked like a zombie back there. My earbuds just decided to play 3 podcasts at once at full volume, total sensory overload. It wasn't about me. At all. It was about malfunctioning technology and a brain just being completely overwhelmed.
Ugh, that single word, it kind of says everything, doesn't it? The grand, complicated, emotional story that I had directed and starred in, just poof, it evaporated. It all dissolved into this one simple, quiet little sound. Oh, that's what was really happening. So let's just pause for a second and gently deconstruct this little moment. Or maybe more accurately, deconstruct this non-event. It's really just about noticing the simple ingredients that all came together, totally by chance, to create this little bubble of unnecessary drama. And here they are. Just look at how impersonal all the components were. One over-caffeinated brain? Okay, that would be mine. A moment of distraction? That was theirs. A single pair of malfunctioning earbuds. And of course, the star of the whole show, a perfectly good story that just happened to be completely and totally incorrect. None of it was personal. Nothing was malicious. It was just a random collection of things that happened at the very same time. And that's really where we can leave it. Not with a big lesson or some grand piece of advice, but just with a quiet question to sit with. The next time we see one of those little social glitches when we feel that flicker of doubt and our mind just rushes in to write the story,
how many other, simpler, truer stories might we be missing? What else could be happening just outside the frame of our own personal movie?